Alabama football team on their accomplishment today. It was evident that it was going to come, and I'm sure they'll have a lot of fun with it coming against Auburn. We'll just have to live with that. That's part of losing. I'm proud of our football team and our coaching staff for having what I thought was a good enough game plan to win the football game. We obviously made mistakes that hurt us. 2 interceptions, a bobble punt, fumble on a field goal. I guess we probably made, more mistakes like that tonight than we made all year long. But I think on the other hand, I think the effort and the intensity and the way they played put us in position to win the football game. And I'm mighty proud of it. I didn't get a chance to spend much time with Coach Brown out there on the field after the game, but he knows how I feel about him, and I know how he feels about me. And we just went to war for a couple hours out there today, and we'll have to recruit against each other. But he's the greatest coach in the game's ever known. Don't think there's any question about it. And if anybody's going to have that record, it's certainly he's the one that deserves it. Any questions?
President, sit down so all the TV microphones might pick you up.
Y'all need to get Coach Brown in here. I guess this is the first time we've lost a game all year long and won the statistics. The only one that we didn't win the penalty deal. We got a couple of holding penalties there in the third quarter. It was third quarter, then suiting with the hard pressure, and we changed up the formation, used motion, and a lot of different things. And I don't know. I wouldn't say that it worked. I wouldn't say it didn't work. We scored 17 points and had it down there 2 or 3 times and didn't get anything out of it. Alabama's a big, strong, physical football team. They're mighty good. I think it was evident. The thing that was so obvious at the end of the ball game. I don't guess Lenny Patrick played it until the fourth quarter, did he? What? He played one play before the fourth quarter. And see, he gets out there, and of course, regardless, I don't think we weren't a non-conditioned football team or anything like that. But his explosive quickness on those 2 sweeps, and they caught us twice. I think on a touchdown run, and the other time we were blitzing from that side and they got everybody walled off inside, and he just put him out there in the secondary in one-on-one situations. And he's a terrific athlete, and that really is, I'd say, the only time that we really look bad defensively. The rest of the time we get a breakdown on the long pass for the touchdown, and we break down on the long run. But basically, overall up front, I thought our defense pretty well controlled the line of scrimmage. Wouldn't you say that kind of the way it looked? And then fullback made a couple of plays up inside, but basically.
You were blitzing on the long run.
And there's no question that we've made a lot of progress with the program. Nobody likes to lose. But our kids, our football players have accepted our way, and I think they believe in our way, and that's really what I wanted to get across. I'd rather have that than have 1 or 2 more wins and have to live, with something less in the future.
What the hell are you doing in here still? Where are you going?
I told you we was gonna get after your ass, but wasn't quite good enough.
Well, you didn't tell me the Lord's gonna be on your side in that third quarter, all that front running and dribbling and stuff.
How about all them damn deals we did with the kicking game and the damn.
Pat was real happy. He's done a great job over there. I told Charlie both for the coach of the year if he didn't do it well. have to get him.
Oh, me. I tell you what, Coach, we whipped your ass in statistics, but I wish them son of bitches would count up different.
I don't know. Thing that you appreciate, I told him I'd give you the best. Governor Carter just called me.
Governor Ray,
Carter. Well, Reagan too, but Governor Carter, I thought you'd appreciate that more.
I ain't no damn politician. Oh, man. Did the president call you?
Well, sure, he called me.
Well,
So President Carter.
let me.
I told him the officials for the one I does. Now you Georgia boys, y'all go there when Pat did.
Shit, I tell you what, that behind the damn line called him holding penalties out there in the third quarter. He must have been from Alabama. As a matter of fact, I think he lives in Huntsville, doesn't he?
No, he's my next door neighbor. Pat,
Y'all get out
good
to
luck.
Texas here.
Oh shit, I gotta go and rest.
I wish the hell you'd have waited a while longer to win that son of a bitch.
Wait for how long?
Get that thing out of the way, Charlie. Hey,
I'll see.
I'm proud for you, proud of you.
I'm proud of you. You done a hell of a job this year. Real
Well,
great job,
thank
Pat.
you.
Real deal.
Thank you.
How happy I am for our team, and how proud. I can't say how happy I am for them. How proud I am of them. I'd like to, but my vocabulary doesn't permit me. And I thought that our defense played very well the first half, except the one play we went to sleep, or they did a real good job. And the second half, there for a while, I felt like that I didn't know what we were going to have to do to win the game. I thought we could win at the half, although I don't think our offense, first half, our offense acted like it was playing with the little brothers, children, or something, afraid he's going to get hurt or hurt them. But in the second half, when we had 80 yards and fumbled kicks and so forth, I didn't know what to think. But for them to come and turn around and turn it around and come back and win is one of the greatest victories I've ever been connected with, particularly against Auburn. I think we had better personnel in Auburn. They were very, very well prepared. They came to play. I knew that. Pat told me before the game they came to play. Of course, he'd have to tell me. And but still, if it had to turn out, if I could charted the way for it to turn out, I'd rather had to come from behind or come back and win in the fourth quarter, which I think our team did. I think it should help them. It should it proved, of course, that they got a little class, a little character, and it should show them that what can be done in the future. I don't think it hurt Auburn any, because those players fought their heart out, looked to me like, and I think they'll get better and better, and I don't want them to get much better for the next few years anyway. But I know we had great plays on both sides, and people that played very well on both sides, and I wouldn't know who Auburn had. And on our side, I know we had great played very, very well, but I don't know who they are either, and I'll wait till I see the film. But everybody that was connected with it, even those that were running the scout team and putting on the stuff back at home, I was tremendously proud of, and they had a lot to do with it, and it's a great victory. And one other thing I was about to pass up, the record that the players set today, I'm thankful to the good Lord for permitting me to be associated with the many wonderful people at Maryland, Kentucky, and Texas A&M, and Alabama that made that possible. And of course, there's many. I've seen a lot of them. I've heard from a lot of them. People like Carney Lashley and Frank Mosley are not with us anymore. They had as much to do or more to do with anybody in the world, and I wish they were here. Some people from right here in the state that were unable to be here. Well, first of all, Ermal Allen, who's the Dallas Cowboys, had a great deal to do with it. He had a heart attack. He's in the hospital out there. And Frank Magoo helped us in many ways, and Marlon Monahan, both suffering with cancer, and Ralph Chinito, there's something wrong with him down in Florida, Nick Odlevac, but people like that, they share in it, of course, and it makes it more meaningful for me, but I wish they could have been here. And frankly, that's about all I have to say. I haven't, the Riga Morgus, or whatever it says, set in on me yet. I'm still kind of I gotta go back and check the score and make sure we won. Long enough to say it was a very hard year for me. I wasn't strong enough or bright enough for it to be otherwise. And that's what caused it, I think, most of it. But only the last 3 or 4 days, or last week, as it really dawned on me that there were so many people. I always knew there was many people involved, but it just not dawned on me. They let me know, the people that were involved, that had contributed to it, that they expected it to be done, and since I was supposed to be their leader, it better be done. So actually, it's a big relief off me tonight, because a lot of them were here from all the schools that I've ever been at, players and other people. And I'd hate to be going there and face them and say, well, we're going to try to do it another time.
Did you say what you said you talked to the president?
To say what?
Did you say you talked to the president after the game?
The president called, and I was highly flattered and appreciated very much. The squad did too, and the coaches, and he was congratulating the team and the coaches, and recalled that he'd been to practice in a tuxedo a few years ago, which he had. And I reminded him that when he was a Cub reporter or announcer out there, we were playing in the Rose Bowl, and he was out of practice every day, and I'd met him 2 or 3 times. Coach Thomas introduced me to him, but he was very nice and complimentary of the team, and we appreciated it and was highly flattered and honored that he would call, and so did ex-President Carter call, and the same thing, except he hadn't been to visit our practice. And, well, I didn't mean that. There's no reason, there hadn't been a reason. I told him very proud that we had at least 2 good teams in the South, more than that. But a couple of senators in our dressing room, and Senator Jeremiah didn't call. Congratulate the team and everyone, and I couldn't understand him very well because we were pretty noisy at the time. But I appreciated that very much also. Oh, I don't know. As I've said before, a lot of people have games to play today. I don't know how they came out. I don't care right now. I know Pittsburgh lost. I heard it did. And everybody that's ranked high will be in the bowl, I'm sure, and anything can happen. I think anything can happen. You watch us at times today, you'd certainly forget us. On the other hand, we have some good spots out there that I think were worthy of a little attention. I think it does players more good, too. More helpful to them in their future. They're going to get behind sometime down the road when they're trying to make a living.
Suspensions this week affected your team in any way?
That's something I'll never know. I'll never know because they weren't here, and I'll never know what had happened if they'd been here. It affected me very much. I was very much disappointed, I'll tell you that. I don't have any left over. I've got someone supposed to be keeping it.
They not trying to carry y'all to the field,
No, thank heaven they didn't, but no point. I ought to be carrying them off the field. I would if I was strong enough. Worked awfully hard on this game. Lewis Campbell was in charge of it. He works on it year-round. But all of them have been working and recruiting and working and recruiting. I think they did a great job. I think Ken Donahue and all the defensive coaches, Jeff Rutledge, Kroon, Poole, and Lewis, as I said, and the offensive coaches, Mal Moore, and Arians, and Jack Rutledge, and Bobby Marks, Dee Powell, Murray Legg, Stedman Shealy. He does a great job for us and does it for free, too. I really appreciate the kind of the job they did today. I thought they did an excellent job.
Coach, did you have some of your former players from your past teams?
Well, I think that I'd be pretty stupid not to recognize the fact there's a whole lot of people contributed to that, and I tried to think of some way to express it other than family, and I came up with that, and that's the way I feel about it. A lot of them are proud of it, a lot of them not so proud of it. I don't know, but they still had a lot to do with it, and were it not for them, it would be no record.
Coach, what are your plans for the team now to prepare for the contest?
Considered your motion, read it several times, and given considerable thought since receiving it this morning. Let me see if I understand, and I believe I do, what you, rather you're an intervenor in this case, as a customer of Alabama Power Company, and I would submit that you're an intervenor on the side of the power company in the case the people of Alabama have hired me to do. And that is exactly what they did when they elected me to this position. If you think, or if this company thinks, or any company thinks, that their constitutional right has been violated by what I have said about my actions, the doors of the court's case to do so would, in my opinion, be an abdication of the duties of the president of this commission and the people of Alabama elected me to perform, and would be an abdication of the duties of the law of this state and the oath of the office which I took. I respectfully decline to refuse myself, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
First, Mr. Kemp, I do know that I pay all my own expenses every day that I'm here. Now, if you wish to characterize my interest, the law gives me that right. It gives that right to every other citizen of this state. And it is my firm belief that if the citizens of this state knew, as I now have found out, through 4 hearings, I wish to be hung for this, I'm talking from memory. On its rate pay. And it says that I shall have a fair rate.